Welcome to Montgomery County Fire and Rescue Services October 2025 monthly video. Today we're going to briefly go over a few topics that I'm hearing that's important to our department. Obviously I have Pete here to help us with this, and let's get started, Pete.
Yeah, well, October, busy time of the year. Not only is it busy as far as our responses, with the change of seasons, it's typically a very busy time of year, but it's Fire Prevention Week, National Fire Prevention Association Week. But of course, we take the opportunity here in Montgomery County to take the whole month to get out and do our fire prevention work for the entire month. As you know, along with that goes a number of activities and community engagement. A number of the fire stations have open houses and all, and things along that nature. So lots of great opportunity to interact, engage with the community. Of course, you're familiar with the National Fire Prevention Association Week, and the theme is Charge into Fire Safety, talking about lithium batteries. Of course, our county's done some great work. There's now a recycling program specifically for batteries and so forth. So a lot of good work going on there.
Yeah, we've already done some great work here in preparedness for lithium-ion batteries. We obviously experienced a few incidents, and we did an amazing job to mitigate those incidents. So kudos to all of our personnel, not only in training, operations, but also our preventive teams. We also had an opportunity, actually the last week in September, myself and Jim Risnick was able to do a show, and we talked that it was geared towards seniors and being safe for our seniors. I also was able to do some work for college students as well. We did a piece on the news to talk about what are the things we need to look out for our young adults in college. So we're doing a lot of work in that space. Obviously, as you mentioned, all of our stations will be participating in the month, engaging our community, educating our community. On October 5th, I believe, Upper Montgomery volunteers have done some amazing work. That's their open house day. But also it's a day that they're going to be unveiling something that they put in place. They were able to use their AMOS funds. They were able to use EMST funding, ambulance billing funding, and put that money to use to help out in the rural area where there's a lack of water supply. So they got their brains together. They've briefed me on it. They have already worked with Central Maintenance Fleet, and they have erected a 130,000 gallon water tank cistern so that we could close the gap in the rural water supply. So I'm going to partake in that event, and I'm excited about it. Scott Graham, Chief Graham, came to me a few weeks ago, and we met about taking that model across the department. So I told him, I said, you just been commissioned to be the chair of a new thought partnership. I don't know what the name of it is yet. It might be the Million Gallon Thought Partnership, but that thought partnership will take the example of that cistern, that 130,000 above ground cistern, along with a lot of stakeholders, planning accreditation, some of our really talented people with rural water supply, to make sure that we do that and we replicate that around the region in the areas that we have significant challenges with water.
Well, I can tell you, having family in the Poolsville area in that community, the open house is always a highlight in that community, but there's a lot of buzz going on about that, the erection of this big tank, and a lot of discussion. So I know there's a lot of excitement about that and the potential to see those pop up elsewhere in the up-county area. So, great thing there. But a lot of open houses. You mentioned Poolsville, Germantown, Gaithersburg, Glen Echo, Chevy Chase. List goes on. There's a number of open houses opportunities starting in September and then going through the whole month of October. So.
And I can't, I'll be remiss not to talk about Beth Ann Nessels, the manager for community risk reduction, and her team. I know they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes If you don't have your supplies, please make sure you reach out to get your supplies. We want to make sure that we have everything we need to educate our community, engage with our community, and thank everyone involved from logistics, all the local fire and rescue departments, and obviously our frontline personnel and operations. We know you're going to do a great job of communicating and educating and also recruiting. So thank you in advance.
Yes. Okay, and Fire Prevention Month, and just look forward to that, and we appreciate your participation for sure. We've been busy. Month of September was no different, and typically this is a busy time of year, change of seasons. We've had a couple of significant fires. A few of them have been those outside-in type fires, townhouses in particular. I know you want to talk briefly on the London Bridge court fire that occurred in September in the Longmead area, 25's area. Was one of those fires, and that was significant in that we had a firefighter injury in that particular case.
Yeah, you know, the best news I can tell you right now is Firefighter Becker. I spoke to her once, not too long after the incident. Actually, when I was pulling up into the neighborhood, and Medic 725 was coming out of the neighborhood, transporting her to the burn center. But after I talked to her about a week later after that, she was actually on her way to Fromm's, and she told me she was doing well. She was going to get a checkup, so she was recovering well, mentally and physically. So I asked her if there was anything that she needed to please reach out so we can make sure she's taken care of. So that's the great news. You know, when you know, our job is inherently dangerous, and we all know that. We go into harm's way, and I'll say it over and over again: risk a lot to save a lot, risk nothing to save nothing. And if we think about those things, we'll do the right things even in a stressed environment. So that was an unfortunate event where one of our own was injured. We also had one of the residents that got injured, but they're doing well as also. But we always, as we say in our mantra, we're a learning organization. And so we take advantage of those incidents, good or need improvement, to learn from it. One of the things that we're learning is that we're going to take a page out of EMIHS and their QA/QI program to do that for fire. It is still in the development phases, but we are already starting to work through those things. Some of the things that we're looking at as a trigger is anything that goes to a RID or greater, we're going to do a fire, a non-EMS QA/QI. It's not only going to be fire, a non-QA/QI. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an approach that we do well for our EMS side of the house, but we have not done as great as we could have done everywhere else. So we're going to fix that. And I want you to know that, you know, discipline is not always the answer. It is sometimes, but it's not always the answer. So I want people to understand that this QA/QI for non-EMS is another way for us to train and learn and grow, evaluate trends just like we do with EMS, figure out if there's some corrective actions or remediation that needs to take place for an individual or crew, but more importantly, across our whole system. Are we doing things the best way? Lithium-ion batteries as an example. Do we need to change our tactics? And we can see that when we do things like that. So I want people to understand, I know there's perception in the fire service when something changes that's new that hasn't been done before. I know recently we've been taking some officers off the street for various reasons. One of those reasons is to do the QA/QI program, and it's not necessarily for discipline. It's actually to understand in a sterile environment what went on and then provide the appropriate corrective action and training. One thing to understand is that we had already started to go through this program, but things started happening and the program is not all the way finalized. But we thought this was a great opportunity to start doing it now. So I felt it appropriate. I heard from our President Buttle that we need to communicate this. So we're communicating that the program is in development stage, but we are doing some work in that space now. And when we finalize that, we will share that and put that out to the department so they understand the full breadth of what we're trying to do.
And I think, at least from my perspective too, it's my understanding that it also is, will discuss and highlight good performances,
Absolutely.
positive things that
Absolutely.
are going on too. So we know that that occurs on a regular basis as well. So that's part of this overall QA program, I think, at least what I've been made aware of. So yeah, more on that as that comes together. How about, I know you've been working very diligently for months, if not longer, on the Joint Operations Center. You
Yes.
want to just touch on that briefly?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it briefly in the September update. I can tell you we will be meeting with the Chief Administrative Officer very shortly to, we being the police chief, myself, and the emergency manager director, to really bring it home and collectively on why this is important and why this will be a game changer, and to ask for support to get it done. I've already have kind of a brief overview on kind of a staffing ask, so I'll be having that conversation with the Chief Administrative Officer as well. We're doing some more tours. I've asked operations to reach out to President Buttle to do a tour with them to look at why we're thinking this is a great thing to do. Also, our planning and accreditation team will go so they can understand how they use the tool, and information technology, tech ops will go so that they can see how they're putting together the different dashboards. There's been a lot of work behind the scenes. Master Firefighter Petraka, Captain Meckel, I think that's his name. I hope I didn't get your name wrong, man. Has done a lot of work, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some people, Battalion Chief Coletti and others. But it's some amazing work being done behind the scenes by a lot of people, and nowhere again that we found that a joint operations center at the local level exists. And we're going into the budget cycle, and I talked about that as well. So I'm going to be asking for additional transport units, and we went through a different phase of how many we thought we needed based on the numbers. We still need more, but this joint operations center will also help us be more efficient with the current resources we have. So we're also going to reevaluate that once we have more data to tell us what's going on in that space.
And of course, the facility physical location will be at headquarters.
Yes.
In in Gaithersburg.
Correct.
Public safety headquarters, that is.
Correct.
There's a lot of buzz out there about can notice, can relate, can adapt, and assistant chiefs and other for professional development occurring in certain ways in certain areas. Want to touch on that a little bit?
You asked me about the promotions?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, all right. So
in PIO language, that's
yeah,
what I asked
I got you.
You got it.
So yes, the promotional process did take place for the assistant chiefs. We have 7 candidates that went through that process. I've been given a very basic overview of how that process went. I will spend time with the chair of the panel, Division Chief Howard, and Admin Services to go through the information. We'll be scheduling a meeting with the candidates and myself, and then I will be meeting with the division chiefs to finalize and get counsel from them on who our next assistant chief will be. So I'm looking forward to that. I had a chance to converse with all 24 of the battalion chief candidates, and they gave me a lot of information. What I explained to them is that they were already on a promotional list. So when the conversation we had was their opportunity to advise me on who they thought should be the next battalion chief. So that was some really good engagement. I got to learn them. That was the most important thing for me. I got to learn a lot about them, unfortunately for me, I got a very difficult decision to make because there's a lot of great talent on that list. And but so as soon as we're able to make the assistant chief promotion, we'll make the battalion chief promotion as well. And then obviously there's the captain, lieutenant, master, firefighter
Trickle
promotion.
down,
So,
yeah.
so I'm looking forward to that. I am still in works with the Office of Finance, the Office of Management and Budget, and OHR as the county is going to a new staffing and time and attendance program as we know it as telestaff. So we need a resource, so I'm trying to get additional resource at the battalion chief level. Cross our fingers and see how that works, and then I'll, if that goes over, I'll be able to do another battalion chief promotion before December. So I'm working through those things, but that process has gone very well. I'm excited about that assistant chief process because we had some very intelligent people at the university levels, also business levels that gave us a lot of insight, and we'll have a product that we'll be able to share with the candidates so that they can understand how well they did and where there might be room for improvements moving forward. I know I used to get that quite often at the when I was a company officer level, but I didn't really get that at the command officer level. So we're going to make sure we remedy that and give them feedback to what they did well and areas that they consider to improve.
So you're referring to people that were on the review panel?
Yeah, so we had a
not-
5-person
Yeah.
panel. It consisted of Division Chief Howard, our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Officer, the Talent Acquisition Manager and Office of Human Resources, a doctor at the University of Maryland. Her expertise is leadership, and then we had a community business owner that provided insight to advise on the process for us to help grade or rank the candidates. So very interesting, new. So I'm interested in hearing from our candidates on what they've thought about it, and I've already got some insight on how we can improve it from the panelists, but I'm also interested in what the candidates might think so we can improve for the next go around.
And maybe a good segue into talking about candidates and potential candidates and you know, recruitments and all how that's working out. We have a number of classes and potential new employees coming on board.
Yeah.
And
So
what
good
can you help?
news, great news. I just finished finalizing the next recruit class 58, which will start in January. I can't remember the exact date. We at least will have 60. And the struggle for me was that it was many more than 60 applicants, but we only could hire in that 60th range. That was the tough part. The greatest part of it all is the fact that we had many more applicants. I get asked on a regular basis whether it's the community, my colleagues and other fire chiefs in the region, elected officials here, county executive, CAO. Does the department have a recruitment problem? Absolutely not. We are doing extremely well in recruitment, extremely well. Recruit class 59 process is still happening. They're starting the backgrounds. We had, I believe, 1,619 applicants initially when we started recruit class 59. We don't have a recruitment problem in Montgomery County Fire and Rescue Service. That's because of our reputation. We have an amazing reputation, and that's because of the great people inside our organization. And as I've said over and over again, keep doing those great things for us. That helps me advocate for you. That helps us recruit well. So all the great things you're doing, keep on keeping on with that. And we're working on some things to help improve our culture. I've mentioned that before, and I just had a conversation with Division Chief Del Pozo the week of the 23rd of September. to talk about bringing a resource in to help in that. Again, it has to do with cultural assessment, climate assessment, executive coaching, professional development, and conflict resolution. So that's some things on the horizon in that space. But we're not having a challenge with our recruitment efforts because of our reputation. So let's keep our reputation at that high standard.
Well, everybody knows this is the best place to work and live anyway. We've covered a lot, and there's a lot more we could talk about, but anything else you want to bring
Deployment.
up?
I'm sure people are asking
Yep.
what's going on with deployment. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you from assistant chiefs to the union, to the association, to a local fire and rescue department, to a shift. You name it, every facet of our organization is yearning change at some level. They're excited about the ability to look at things differently with fresh set of eyes across the organization and understand that some of the things that we have need some changing at some times. And sometimes when it's your area is tough because we take pride in it, we own it, we enjoy it, we built it, it's our baby. And anytime something has to change, it's difficult. And I want you all to know I recognize that. I recognize that change can be hard. I'm doing my best, and I know I need to do more with communicating with everyone, bringing people at the table more so they can understand the process and bring their ideas to the table. We're going to do more of that. But so I recognize that, I understand that, and if there's ways that we can improve in that space, I'm all ears, and I'm actively listening to each and every one of us. But we're going to do some deployment. The next thing, and there's no secret to anyone, Tower 19 is moving to 1. I believe that date is October 5th. And a lot of conversations have taken place in that, and more will. And once we get there, we will still analyze what's going on. If it's not what we thought it was, we will make whatever adjustments necessary. The rest of it is we have to get together. So I want people to know the rest of it is still on the table, but the union, the association, and your Office of the Fire Chief haven't got together yet. We will get together, and we will sit down, and we will go through the remaining of that deployment plan and figure out what needs to stay and what else might need to be adjusted. So just stay calm, calm your anxiety. We will communicate better. We will communicate consistently, and we will do it collectively. So that's where we are with deployment. Part of what we talked about to get here is the fact that our master plan is helping guide us. And so in the last budget cycle, we had the number between 3 to 5 transport units to help us in some of that area. Well, FY27, fiscal year 27 is here for preparation for that budget. So I'm going to be asking for some more of those resources to help us in that area. So stay tuned with that. I'm going to come out with not only by myself, our division chiefs will be out there. I'll be out there with President Buttle. I'll make sure that I hit our local fire and rescue departments as well. I'm still meeting with them, meet with the association and our union monthly to get insight and information. So if there's something that we're not getting to you, that you need, or we're missing the mark, please let us know. Go through your chain of command. If there's meetings that we have, let's talk about in those meetings. I'll get out more into other meetings so that we can hear what's going on, what's working, and what other ideas we need to consider to move us forward.
Yeah, and Chief, it's not lost on me, and I know it's not lost on you too, and you're very approachable, number one, but all through this deployment, redeployment, movement of personnel is the human aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I know you're very aware of that, tuned in, sensitive to that. And that has been a major component of who you are and how you've approached the situation too. So I think that's something that is not lost on me, but that is a major factor in, yes, you can move a truck from here to there, but there's personnel, humans behind all that, and
Yeah.
I know that has an impact.
And I carry that with me. It's you humans are what makes this organization great, and you got to take care of them. That's my job, to take care of. And it's tough when people are in places and they've done a lot of work, they've built the relationships, and here I come with this idea of different things that comes from different places: master plan, and data informed experiences, etc. And we making adjustments. I hear the my. And I appreciate that ownership. I want us to all think about everybody has a my. But when we think about it as it's ours. As long as we are taken care of. It's the Montgomery County Fire and Rescue Service with everything that means, all the ingredients of the association, the union, the McGeo, the civilians, the mechanics, the firefighters, the paramedics, the IT personnel. It's our department, and as long as the goal of our department accomplishing our mission is still there, we're going to do well. And as long as we understand that we're here for a temporary time frame, wherever position we're in, including mine, right? I would like to be here as long as I can, but at the end of the day, we all have an expiration date in our positions. And so when we think about it from our aspect, I think it's a little bit more digestible, that understanding that when I hand that baton off to whoever else, we left it in a great place and they're going to take it to the next level. So I appreciate that question, and I do recognize that, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that human factor is intact.
All right. Well, any last words as we head into
You
October?
know what I always say, man. Have fun, take care of each other, and be safe.